You're
Hey, what's happening, everybody? So I'm here with two other van dwellers. We got Cody from Vantastic living over here, Weston from Wizard Dream, and we're just having van dwelling conversations, and we thought it would be really cool to include you. So this is part two. The other one was the other night in front of the campfire. This one we got a little better lighting. So we were talking about places we've parked and places we don't like parking and places we prefer to park and all this stuff, living in a van. Me, historically, most of my time has been spent in Walmart parking lots, and I'm a little sick of it, to be honest with you. Basically, it's loud, and it seems like people like to have subwoofer competitions right next to my van at like 2 o'clock in the morning all the time. And they got, not every Walmart, and not every night, but they have street sweepers that come through for like 2 hours, and usually at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And guys with leaf blowers every night, and it's like, dude, I can't sleep. And it's just busy. There's lots of people and commotion all the time. And Walmart's kind of attract like poor people, you know, because everything's really cheap. So there can be like some crime and drugs and stuff going on. It can be kind of sketchy sometimes. So I'm trying to get away from that and spend more time in the wilderness. What's your experience been?
Me, I do pretty fine in Walmart or city parking. Not my preference, but as long as I have earplugs, I'm fine. Like I can fall asleep easily. But most of my van dwelling has been out in the woods in Flagstaff, and that's what I prefer, is to be outdoors. Flagstaff has woods that is like eight free camping 8 minutes from the city, which works perfect for me since I work from my computer.
Pine Forest.
You know.
And in Flag, there's just so many places you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unlimited. You've never been.
It's so beautiful.
I really want you to go experience Flag because you can go from the east to the west side of it, and there's going to be free camping
everywhere,
anywhere you want to be.
Trails.
What just happened back there?
I don't know. Who was that guy?
It was kind of.
Who was that guy?
It didn't sound good, whatever it was. Yeah, I need to go to Flagstaff, man. I need to experience that. So where do you usually park? What's your experience been?
I have so many places I like to go to, and they're all great. That's the thing. I haven't found one yet. The last one I was just out was off A1 Mountain Road.
So in the forest or the desert or out of the city? Basically,
as soon as you're on I-40 and you pass Flagstaff going west, you're going to see an exit for A1 Mountain Road. And when you get off, you make a right onto the...
Are you sure you want to give away your spots?
This is public knowledge.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of RTRs and things and gatherings there. So a lot of people know of this area, and it's very, it's not a big spot to camp. There's much bigger areas that you could get lost in, but it's really easy to get in and out of, if you just want to get up there, have a chill spot to camp. And the last time I was up there, the observatory was across from me.
Oh, wow.
So it was really, really cool views.
Okay, so is it true that most of the time when you park, it's out like in the woods or in the desert or something? You never park in the city. You never stealth camp in a neighborhood or something.
I have a lot. I just don't like it. It's too much. I like to wake up in the middle of the night if I need to go out to my van and take a leak. I can do that.
Hold on, guys. I gotta show you this. Look at this guy. Yeah! Woo! Hey, brother. This is Pat's Pit Stop. We're doing van builds out here in the future, by the way. What did he just hit?
It's the brake. So hey, if you guys ever are in the Phoenix area, I just kind of want to give you a heads up on what just happened. I've got some close ties of friends here in town that have property that have allowed me to set up an area for guys to come, regroup, get rested up, fix their van, make repairs, and then also go out into the areas around here and do some camping. That's what we're going to do with you. I wish Weston could stick around, but it sounds like you've done a lot more of this than Jed has. But what's your experience in Flagstaff? Where do you like to go? Or where would you normally frequent, I guess, the most?
Normally it's this state road off of Fort Valley. What's called, the Fort Valley Road, going towards the Snow Bowl, and I, for the past 6-7 months, would just camp out there. Right. It was beautiful. It was probably one of the closest spots to the downtown area. So that's what I would do.
And have you ever, how, in your experience, how many times do you find other people out there doing the same thing you're doing?
Oh, lots of people.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't like busy or anything, but there was definitely, you could go find some neighbors pretty easily.
There are a lot of people out there doing what we're doing.
But let me ask you this: have you done any kind of camping, or has it really always been primarily?
Not
Walmart?
really, dude. It's stupid, but I saw a lot of horror movies when I was a kid. And when I'm out in the forest alone, every sound I'm hearing, I'm like, oh my god, what was that? Was that a serial killer? Was that a wolf or a bear or something?
Mine's playing tricks
I
on
don't
me.
like. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
see, I'm like
it.
that in the city. I hear noises, I'm like, shit.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is that you're much more likely to get raped or murdered or mugged or whatever by a human than you are to get eaten by a bear or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, in the woods. And serial killers are probably in the city where there's actually like people for them to kill or whatever, not in the middle of the forest where there's
Yeah.
nobody out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So the likelihood of you actually, it's completely irrational. I just haven't faced that fear yet. Plus, the other thing is I need internet to do my stuff.
Yeah.
And most places I go, it's quite a drive to get some internet, and I gotta have internet for my business.
No, definitely. That's been one of the main issues with me is a lot of the free camping areas is like 40 minutes away from any sort of town. So unless you're like kind of like Sedona has really close to town camping and Flagstaff. That's what I've experienced. But other places is pretty far out.
And so you have to be out west for all this free camping. There's no BLM land east of I don't even know what.
Real quick. Hey guys, just so you know, this is Vantastic Living coming at you guys live. We're having a little conversation here. I did not hit record earlier. So we were talking with Jed and we're talking
Jed's like
this was just bad.
Just roll with it.
Okay.
Let it happen.
So hey, you guys want to see the raw side of YouTube? Here you go. Weston and Jed and I are sitting here trying to have this meaningful conversation about Walmart and how horrible the parking is, and now how we're going to transition to camping out in the woods. And I didn't hit record, so welcome back. Sorry guys, let's keep going.
do your wheelies.
So we were just
where's the boundaries for BLM land? Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, I don't know where exactly it ends, but basically the western side of the United States has BLM land everywhere, free camping everywhere. It's all over the place. You can camp for free anywhere out here. You can be outdoors. Once you get a little farther east, all the property's owned by individuals, and there's some national forests, but it's much more sparse than the western side of the country. So out west, there's just camping everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, free camping.
You and back east, you never had the chance to do a lot of camping then, I guess.
No, it was all paid. I mean, there's national forests, but it's so far out and so far away from the internet that I need internet every day to do my business. You know, I have to have it.
And you do too, it seems.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I was so attracted to Flagstaff, because I could have best of both worlds. Was the city with the internet, coffee shops, and then out in the woods, free camping. So that
is the best of both worlds.
Ideal, yeah.
Yeah, I need to find some places like that and face my fear of serial killers and bears.
Bears,
Hey,
yeah.
but I mean, I'll elaborate on that. The first couple times I was ever up in the woods, deep into the woods, where I was kind of in areas where I thought, if I break down, I'm scared. Like, how am I going to get out? There was some nights, you're thinking, not just animals, but there could be people up here that don't necessarily need to be here.
Yeah.
And like, what could happen to you up there? But honestly, that's so rare, guys.
Well, if that
was the case, there'd be vans and dead people all over the mountains. Like, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
happen.
that's true. But the last 2 times I camped, one was in Colorado. This crazy guy asked me what I would do if someone came up behind me with a hatchet. And then next time I got stuck in the sugar sand in Florida, down by Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the crazy racist tow truck driver was like, "Oh man," he was telling me that if the ranger would have found me, he would have fined me like $2,500 and impounded my vehicle. And then he's like, "But you're lucky the hunters didn't find it because they would have shot you on the spot."
No,
yeah,
really?
I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
So
that's
backwoods Florida guy.
sketchy.
So the last 2 times I went out in the woods was like really like
You just weren't going to the right spot.
kind of freaky. Yeah, I guess so, man.
Let one of us take you out there.
Yeah, you guys have
We'll show you
obviously had
good
some
spots.
amazing experiences.
Oh,
you know.
beautiful.
Going camping I've gone camping with friends and stuff up in around Portland, Oregon, especially at like Estacada, Mount Hood National Forest.
Right.
It's awesome up there. Yeah, I need to really get out more. So what's the deal with stealth? Your van's not. It's not stealth or whatever. It's not a white windowless van with nothing in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
haven't.
Green Astro. Check out his channel.
Yeah,
you'll
green
see it.
Chevy Astro. It doesn't like stand out like crazy, but it's not the stealthiest vehicle. I don't know. And stealth isn't usually something I worry about for some reason, because I don't know. I'm either been camping in Flagstaff, or even when I'm on the streets, I'm not really worried about any encounters with the law or whatever.
You've never had one?
No, I've never had any encounters with cops the past
He's
like
always
year.
up in the woods.
What about you? Have you had any encounters with?
I had encounters with the police, not because they were checking on me, but because a guy almost robbed me, and it turned out 2 days later he robbed the complex that I was sleeping behind.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I knew when he showed up to my van with a flashlight, I thought, it's either good or bad. It wasn't a cop, and I didn't know why this dude was checking me out, or why he was like around the property at 11 o'clock at night. And I got out of my van and kind of talked to him a little bit, but I got to visually see him really well. And so when they robbed this landscaping company, the cops asked me to do a lineup, and I just was like, no, not gonna do it. And they were like, yeah, but some people got hurt and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, I don't want that. I said, do I have to go to court? And he's like, no. And showed me some pictures of people, and I pointed this guy out, and he's like, yeah, that's the guy. And at that time, I was at that point, I'm out. I hit I never was staying in the city if I didn't have to, because that freaked me out,
Where was it?
It was in Loveland, Colorado.
Oh.
I was up there tinting windows in a shop, and the guy that I was working for at the time said I could park the van behind the shop. And so I thought it was cool. It was a couple days I'd just been there, and I didn't want to do the Walmart deal. And I'm like, oh, this is more private than Walmart, And I had my windows open, and I saw this light shining through.
Wow.
And I was like, actually, I think it was my attitude and my demeanor, because I kind of approached the guy like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. And he was like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, and he kind of cross-questioned me, like, he goes, I know the owner of this building. And I'm like, well, I'm security of the building. And so it kind of freaked him out, kind of put him on, like, check, So he backed up, and we kind of sat there. So I was able to really get a good look at the dude. But when they told me what the guy did, like, apparently, like, got in a high-speed chase with the cops, and they ended up T-boning a lady, and, like, a lot of, like, drama from it, yeah. But it scared me, and it actually made me think, like, wow, I don't want to, like, have so many... You were talking about doing some window tint on or some stuff on your windows to prevent someone from breaking in, I will just stay out in the forest to prevent people from breaking in, because I feel safer out there than I really do in this city.
Yeah. The crazy people out in the forest are together. They're partying. Mm-hmm. You can hear them coming.
Well, and a lot of times you'll find a lot of like-minded individuals up there, mm-hmm. and out in the desert.
Yeah.
But in the city, you find a lot of people that are they're predators, and they will take and steal and rob from you, even if you think that they're trying to befriend you.
They have more prey or whatever in the city than...
Well, and I don't want to generalize it, but there's more of that type of people in the city.
Yeah.
When you're out in the forest, people have made that lifestyle choice. So we're living up there for that reason. So we have a lot more in common. People in the city that are just living on the streets and just doing what they do at times, they're doing that because of maybe personal reasons or choices that aren't so good, drugs, or mental issues like that. I've found the most sane, coolest, rational people out in the forest and out in the desert, more so than I've ever had in the city. And especially at Walmart, when I get in the Walmart crowd and they start like knowing who you are, they see your van there a few nights and they want to come hang out. And it's like, no, Walmart to me is not like a hangout.
Yeah.
It's like a quick, I pit stop, I regroup, and I go back out.
Has that been your experience too?
Well, with meeting people?
Yeah,
no.
In the woods.
I don't know. I've met some pretty sketchy people out in the woods too.
Have you?
Yeah, some like mentally unstable people. Like some guy, and actually when I was sleeping in the morning, knocked on my vehicle, trying to get some marijuana. Because yeah, he said he's like schizophrenic, bipolar, which is fine. Which it's just a mental thing. But he seemed kind of on the edge. And I thought it was kind of ballsy of him to be, like, trying to get a hold of me. I don't know.
I would have grabbed my bear mace and just been... Because that would have freaked me out, someone knocking on my door.
And I also had a guy, he said he had post-traumatic stress, and he came up to my vehicle, like, kind of in the afternoon and told me to get away from him because I was too close to him, even though I was, like, across the street. So he told me to leave because he has post-traumatic stress, and he's not aware of the terrible things he can do at night. Like, this is something that he came up to me and said. Wow. So he was an older man, and I totally respected it. I was like, oh, no problem, sir, and I went somewhere else. But it's like,
Was it like you need to leave or?
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he told me he's like, you need to leave because if I hear stuff at night, it triggers his post-traumatic stress and he can freak out. And it's kind of scary because the week before that, I was camping out in the same spot in a tent, just in a tent by myself. So I don't know. Who knows? But
I guess we've all kind of had mixed experiences.
yeah, it's kind of funny. Like you're scared to go out into the city because of people. You're scared to go out into the woods because of bears. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna have bulletproof glass on that Astro now. So there ain't no bears getting in there.
Bears coming at me.
Any people try to get there, I'm running out naked, and I got something heavy in my hand.
That's something heavy in your hand.
So what about you? Have you ever had any like real sketch experience of people like coming up to your van while you're in the city at Walmart, or like say potential YouTube fans that kind of freaked you out, or?
There was actually the only one time. It was when I was in Amarillo, right when I met you. When I was at that Walmart where I met you.
And you were like,
there were
I don't like this.
There were a couple tweakers with a pit bull and a little dog, or not a little, in a little car.
I saw them, yeah.
Like they were like hunched in this little tiny car. Yeah, they kept walking past my van, and it was like, are these guys like casing me or something? Like
they were probably trying to get your bike.
They kept walking by and looking. Oh yeah, I had the bike on the back. Yeah, they kept walking by and looking at my van, and I was like, "What is going on here? These guys are casing my joint."
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably what was going on.
Yeah.
You know?
It felt.
But you never had
off.
any issues at Walmart ever?
Besides that, no.
No cops and management and security.
There was one security guy that was a total dick the other day.
Where was this at?
This is in Virginia, in Norfolk. I pulled up and I got in the back and I was just laying back there. I had just pulled up like 30 minutes ago, and I heard something. I felt it was off when I got there, and I should have just left immediately. I should have trusted my intuition, but it ended up okay. So I was just laying down in the back on my cell phone, checking stuff out, seeing where else I could go, and kind of resting for a minute because I've been driving like 10 hours or not 8 hours or whatever that day, and I heard the tap 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 on my window, And so I opened the door. I knew it was security. I just opened the door. I was like, "Hey, what can I do for you?" I was really polite and friendly and everything. He's like, "Does this look like a campground to you?"
No.
I was like, "Excuse me?"
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Does this look like a campground to you?" And he was all like serious and angry and douchey about it. I was like, "Do you want me to leave, man?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, see ya." Like, wow. It's like, do you see the campfire, dude? Like, do I look like I'm camping? No, I'm sitting in the.
From what I understand, and this correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Comment down below and tell me if this is true or not. But if you actually go in and purchase something from that store, you're no longer a trespasser because you purchased something from the store.
I was planning on going and grabbing some kombucha.
Right, but I would have told the gentleman, no, I'm actually a patron of the store. I've come here to purchase goods. I'm putting them away in my vehicle.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess with this guy. He was just a dick, and there was no. I was in a bad mood. I didn't want to mess with him. I've been driving all day. I was tired. I was worn out. I didn't.
You know me. I like to question the authority.
Time to go.
Yeah, I'd have been like up in Walmart going, you know what? You gotta fire this guy.
my piece is more important than that asshole. He was probably having a bad day too or something. Who knows, man. Right? There's a reason why he was a dickhead. He wasn't born that way. Right. He was conditioned through something painful, I'm sure. Many painful things. Oh man, what else? I think that's probably this video. I think is getting pretty long.
The sun's going down.
Yeah, sun's going down. We should call us a day.
Let's see what we got time-wise on here.
Make sure you check out these guys' channels, guys.
Oh wow, we're at 12, so we're good.
Yeah,
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, so we got Wizard Dream here and Vantastic Living. Check out the channels.
And Into the Mystery 13.
Love yourself.
Peace.
Later. See, that was